Some matches in international football are billed as routine exercises in dominance, while others are framed as potential giant killings, but what we witnessed at the NRG Stadium was a masterclass in the unforgiving nature of elite-level competition. When the referee blew the final whistle, the scoreboard read a staggering 5-0, a resounding statement of intent by Portugal that left Uzbekistan completely shattered. Yet, beneath the surface of this massive scoreline lies a deeper story of tactical precision, psychological warfare, and the microscopic margins that define the beautiful game. For 90 minutes, one team executed a game plan with ruthless, surgical efficiency, while the other learned a brutal lesson about the harsh realities of the World Cup stage. It was a match that felt less like a simple group stage encounter and more like a psychological dismantling, where every mistake was punished with maximum severity and every tactical vulnerability was laid bare for the world to see. As the Portuguese players celebrated and the Uzbeks stared blankly into the distance, it became clear that this was not just a victory, but a definitive declaration of footballing hierarchy. To truly understand the weight of this encounter, one must look at the immense narrative pressure surrounding Group K of the 2026 World Cup. Portugal arrived under the eternal, suffocating spotlight that accompanies any team featuring Cristiano Ronaldo, where the expectation is not merely to win, but to dominate in a manner befitting global contenders. The narrative for Portugal was one of legacy and transition, balancing the twilight of an extraordinary generation with the emergence of hyper-talented youth. For Uzbekistan, led by the tactical mind of Fabio Cannavaro, this match represented the ultimate litmus test for a nation striving to establish its footballing identity on the grandest stage of all. Media pundits had spent days debating whether Uzbekistan's disciplined, collective structure could withstand the individual brilliance of a European powerhouse. The psychological burden on Cannavaro's men was immense, tasking them with playing a perfect defensive game while hunting for transitional moments. For 90 minutes, the historical weight of Portuguese football collided with the ambitious, rising spirit of Uzbek desire, creating a fascinating psychological battleground where confidence could be shattered in a single moment, and legacy could be cemented in 90 minutes. The tactical chess match initiated immediately with the opening whistle, as Portugal established their intent to exploit the half-spaces and stretch Uzbekistan's defensive block. In just the third minute of play, the structural blueprint became evident when Bruno Fernandes found himself free at the edge of the 18-yard box after receiving a sharp, penetrative pass from the midfield. Fernandes unleashed a powerful strike that flew agonizingly over the crossbar, signaling Portugal's strategy to test the opponent's defensive depth early on. This initial warning shot forced the Uzbek low block to drop even deeper, creating an immediate territorial imbalance. By the 6th minute, this relentless spatial pressure bore fruit. João Cancelo, operating as an inverted fullback, orchestrated a brilliant offensive transition, finding a pocket of space to deliver a perfectly weighted, low-driven cross. Cristiano Ronaldo anticipated the delivery expertly, peeling away from his marker to fire a clinical shot into the bottom right corner, making it 1-0. This early breakthrough completely disrupted Cannavaro's conservative game plan, forcing Uzbekistan to abandon their defensive comfort zone and press higher up the pitch, which inherently opened up dangerous passing lanes for the Portuguese playmaker corps. As Uzbekistan attempted to adapt to the deficit, the match grew increasingly physical, highlighted in the 14th minute when Odilzon Kamrobekov was shown a yellow card for a reckless, late challenge aimed at disrupting a dangerous Portuguese counterattack. The booking severely limited Kamrobekov's defensive aggression, a vulnerability that Portugal targeted almost immediately. Only 3 minutes later, in the 17th minute, Portugal won a free kick right at the edge of the penalty box. Nuno Mendes stepped up and executed a breathtaking piece of technical mastery, curling a flawless strike precisely inside the left post, leaving goalkeeper Abdulvakid Nemetov completely stranded. The 2-0 lead established a profound psychological advantage for Portugal, while plunging Uzbekistan into a state of structural panic. Desperate to find a lifeline, Uzbekistan began committing more bodies forward, which culminated in a dramatic 29th-minute sequence. Azizjan Ganiv pounced on a loose clearance and unleashed a stunning, long-range thunderbolt that flew into the top left corner, seemingly reducing the deficit to 2-1. However, the euphoric celebrations were short-lived, a comprehensive VR review ruled the goal out due to an accumulation of fouls during the build-up phase. This decision acted as a devastating psychological blow, completely deflating the Uzbek morale and instantly halting their momentum. Sensing the psychological vulnerability of their opponents, Portugal struck with lethal precision just 10 minutes later. In the 39th minute, Bruno Fernandes capitalized on a defensive miscommunication, threading a delicate pass to an unmarked Cristiano Ronaldo inside the box, who calmly slotted the ball into the bottom left corner to make it 3-0. The match had effectively shifted from a competitive contest into a tactical exhibition before the halftime whistle even blew, despite a late first-half chance where Ronaldo's close-range effort was blocked by a desperate Uzbek defense. Entering the second half, Fabio Cannavaro attempted a massive tactical overhaul, executing a double substitution by introducing Akmal Mozgovoy and Kozayakbar Alizanov to inject energy into his depleted side. Simultaneously, Portugal managed their squad workload, replacing Pedro Neto and João Cancelo with Francisco Conceição and Nelson Semedo. Despite the fresh legs, Uzbekistan's defensive cohesion continued to unravel under Portugal's high-press triggers. In the 60th minute, disaster struck for the Central Asian side when a chaotic defensive sequence forced goalkeeper Abdulvakid Nematov into a catastrophic error, accidentally turning the ball into his own net for a demoralizing own goal, extending the lead to 4-0. The final half-hour of the match became a showcase of squad depth and game management for Portugal, as they continued to manipulate spaces at will. Even when Cristiano Ronaldo missed a golden opportunity in the 58th minute, followed by another brilliant reflex save by Nematov in the 74th minute, Portugal's offensive fluidity never wavered. Further substitutions saw Trincão and Bernardo Silva enter the fray, maintaining a relentless tempo that kept Uzbekistan pinned in their own defensive third. The ultimate exclamation point of the evening arrived in the 87th minute through sub Rafael Leo. Receiving a cleared ball just outside the penalty area, Leo exhibited supreme confidence, taking a single touch before launching a spectacular, curling strike into the top left corner, making it 5-0. Even in the dying embers of stoppage time, Portugal remained dangerous, with Trincão narrowly missing a sixth goal after dragging his shot wide. When the final whistle blew at 90+6 minutes, the tactical story was complete, a total breakdown of Uzbekistan's defensive integrity, engineered by a Portuguese side operating at the absolute peak of their powers. This 5-0 result will reverberate far beyond the confines of the NRG Stadium, fundamentally altering the trajectory of both nations within Group K of the 2026 World Cup. For Portugal, this was the textbook definition of a statement victory, providing an immense boost to their goal difference and sending a chilling message to the rest of the tournament contenders that their offensive machinery is fully functional. The seamless integration of veteran leadership and youthful exuberance suggests that Portugal possessed the tactical flexibility required to go deep into the knockout stages. Conversely, for Uzbekistan and Fabio Cannavaro, this defeat is a bitter, sobering reality check that exposes the massive structural gulf between continental success and global elite football. Cannavaro must rapidly rebuild his squad's shattered confidence and address the defensive frailties that allowed Portugal to exploit the half-spaces so easily if they hope to salvage their World Cup campaign. As the tournament progresses, one cannot help but wonder how this crushing defeat will reshape the psychological resolve of Uzbekistan. Can Cannavaro implement the necessary tactical adjustments to spark a dramatic redemption story in their remaining group matches, or has this Portuguese masterclass exposed a fundamental flaw that will ultimately doom Uzbekistan's World Cup dreams to an early, painful conclusion?